It's Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager with Solagent. Welcome back to the Beyond Emissions podcast. We have an amazing show for you today. By the way, all Beyond Emissions podcasts available with all of our other learning, promotional, educational videos, all available. Great content, great resources, free for you to learn and become more valuable for your team, yourself, and your customers and your company. All you have to do is just like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all of our latest content available right here. Valuable stuff. This is how we learn. We gain knowledge, and every single week we have experts from around the world on the Beyond Emissions podcast and spotlighted right here at the Solagent YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thanks for joining us again for the Beyond Emissions podcast. We have a very special guest here today. He's my friend. I met him from Big Battery, a new supplier we have available here at Solagent. We're going to talk all about Big Battery energy storage solutions available at Solagent packages, actually. Some great ideas about standalone storage, how energy storage is not only going to help your business survive right now during these tumultuous times, but helping more customers by offering storage first and solar second. Solar does not need to be the centerpiece of your business. Energy storage should. And then storage can be the clean way that your customers have the ability to charge those batteries and power loads, etc. But making the centerpiece of your business strategy, energy storage it's the only way that you're going to not only just survive, but thrive, like I said earlier. And we've got an expert here today to talk about energy storage, in addition to the solutions available at Solagent from Big Battery. Our Chief Technology Officer from Big Battery, Lux Power. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, Marshall Neipert. Welcome, Marshall. How are you today, sir?
Hi, I'm doing well. Just to give you a clarification, so I'm actually the CTO of Big Battery, and Lux Power is our inverter partner for our certified system.
Yes. And folks, the certified system that they have available is ready to be deployed in California right now. It's ready to be installed. We've got the ability to take your order and ship immediately. It's phenomenal. And by the way, when you're working with Solagent, you can get your Big Battery solutions in Arizona or California, shipped anywhere, no minimums, free shipping. Very, very cool, because freight can add quite a bit to orders. How flexible are they? Phenomenal partners at Big Battery. Thank you very much, Marshall, for reaching out. Carlos as well. We're excited to be working with you. Okay, so let our listeners know about this market that we're in. We discussed it at Inner Solar. It's a real challenge. People are having to lay off employees and businesses are shutting down. And almost to a T, what we see is most of these situations can be avoided. A lot of these situations are folks who have not truly embraced energy storage. They're looking for a really short sales cycle, just like they had with regular solar. They've got their solar only blinders on, and they're just like, woe is me, NEM3. The reality is this is an opportunity. Anytime there's a crisis, there's always an opportunity. An opportunity to grow right now is with energy storage. Big Battery, an amazing partner now with Solagent. So what attracted you to Big Battery versus some of the other suppliers? We'll go into your background right now in just a moment. But what attracted you to Big Battery versus the other suppliers out there?
Yeah, so Big Battery is a little different in that we do a lot of manufacturing in-house. We do a lot of assembly of our products. I know we source products from China for our components, but we make sure that our quality control, our testing, our cycle testing of cells, cycle testing of packs, all our QC processes are done here in the United States, and we have our state-of-the-art repair center here in America, and we have our customer support center here in America. So we're very customer-focused. That's kind of what makes us a little bit different from some of the other guys.
Yeah, customer focus is amazing. You have an amazing team. And, Big Battery, an amazing company, lots of solutions. We'll go into some of the packages available there. But energy storage, let's talk a little bit about that. Outside of the box sales, if people are going to survive and grow right now and not retract or contract and go backwards, if they want to go forwards with their business, really embracing energy storage as the solution is key, right? Talk a little bit about that, overcoming these challenges with their business.
Yeah, so I mean, when net metering 2.0 is in effect, of course, you receive the full credit for all of your energy storage. You're essentially selling it back to the utility at the same price that you paid for it. So you could make that you gave it to them. So you can make solar during the day and then get that exact kilowatt hour at night, right? And so with net metering 3.0, the problem is that the value of your excess energy is based on an avoided cost calculator, which it considers the utilities cost to avoid generating that same electricity themselves, right? So the problem is that the utilities, they're having to do all this peak demand when solar's not in effect. And so they convince the regulators to say, no, we can't give that back. It costs us more to make it later. So in effect, you're getting a fraction of that back now with net metering 3.0. The regulations say, okay, you make it during solar peak, but that's when electricity is cheap. So we're going to give it back to you, at a fraction of the cost of what you gave in. So maybe a third or fourth. It really depends on the peak. So unless you have energy storage now, solar is not really that economical, and that's why it's not as there's not as good of a case to get solar without storage anymore, and that's why we're seeing solar systems. The sales out there are dropping on the solar systems, but when you put solar in the game, you not only get the tax credits, right? The government put in place to support the grid. There's federal tax credits, there's state tax credits, there's tax credits to do storage with EV charging and all these other things. So the government's trying to make it happen, right? And now that you can use your own power, you don't worry about grid peak costs anymore. You can just you can do time of use. So whatever electricity is the most expensive or whatever they give you less back to give back to the grid under net metering 3, you can control that. So our system lets you do complete time of use, grid cell functionality, all of that. So you can program exactly what you want to do. And the solar installer will know generally the rules, and they'll put them in place to benefit the customer the most.
Savings is not just with solar. Most people don't realize this, now, right? G.I. Joe style. Now knowing is half the battle. So half the battle is won because we now know the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, standalone storage without solar actually qualifies for the 30% federal tax credit. The system you're describing, the Lux Power hybrid inverter, along with the Ethos lithium iron phosphate battery system properly sized for the amount of kilowatt hours someone might want to discharge each day to their loads. You could actually do all this without solar on your side of the meter, discharge to your loads at night when the rates are high, and then charge your battery from the utility from the grid when rates are really, really cheap. And if you properly size the system, you can end up getting a very quick payoff period and actually, saving money for the long haul for quite a while. And not that we're talking people out of solar, but not everybody can have solar. Standalone storage is a real business opportunity that folks should be considering with the big battery package solutions available here at Sologent, right, Marshall?
Yeah. So standalone storage, there's incentives for that, right? So if the government's going to pay you 30% to store your own power, and depending on your jurisdiction, your electricity costs can vary greatly. Then you want to fill up the battery when it's cheap, and then give it back to you when it's expensive, when there's peak grid costs, and that alone will give you a return of what you calculated it, Josh. What was it?
Oh, the return on investment, it was very quick. I think I figured out your Lux Power 12K inverter with a 15 kilowatt hour Ethos system I think if I remember correctly, you were discharging 80% of that. Here, why don't I go ahead and bust it? Are you okay with me doing that? Let me do that. Let's play math a little bit, Marshall.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we could definitely play math. The only thing is that every system's a little different, right? So it really depends on your jurisdiction, your different costs for power, and then your consumption, right? So all of that kind of plays. And so, but generally, the ROI can be, 3 to 4 years depending on usage, right?
Especially with big battery as affordable as you guys are, man.
Yeah, so you did ask about the differentiating factors. One of the biggest differentiating factors, other than the American side, is as an American company, we're the low-cost leader. So we're trying to bring energy storage to the masses. We're trying to make this affordable for every home in America.
That's right. You can afford it. You can actually afford this. Okay, so let's play math a little bit. Marshall Neipert, Big Battery Chief Technology Officer, Big Battery Solutions available here at Solagent. Email me storage@solagent.net to find out more. Let's play math, folks. We want you to know how to explain standalone storage value proposition to customers, and then place your orders for the Big Battery Solutions, these packages we have available. We'll use this as an example. So let's use the Ethos 15 kilowatt hour system. By the way, all this comes as a package. You get the Ethos batteries. It stacks like Legos. So very quick and easy to install, quick commissioning, which saves you and your customer money right there in and of itself. Comes with the battery control unit, the BCU on top, or BMS battery management system right there on top. And then in the package, you get the 12K Lux Power hybrid inverter. So imagine that you get a system like this, standalone storage. By the time we sell it to an installer and then it retails to a customer, what is that retailing for online? What's that retailing for roughly? Let's see here.
So the 15.3 kilowatt hour stack is with the Lux inverter. With this 12K, it has 18K PV. That's $11,190. So we're under, we're 11,000, just about there.
Okay, so let's go 11,190. Let's assume that there are some sales taxes here on that. So I live in Central California. We get killed on it. So I'm just going to I know it's not 10%, but let's just up it. So divided by 0.9. So let's call it after tax $12,433.33. Now, an installer is going to want to mark that up to install it. I'm guessing by about 10 or 15 points roughly to account for marketing and then also the installation. Roughly, let's call it 15%. Is that fair, or should I maybe go 20 just to pad it a little more as far as a markup that an installer would charge a homeowner to install that? In your opinion, ballpark.
Yeah, the installer cost, it really varies from installer to installer. I'm not quite an expert on what the installer charges for those installations.
We're seeing, I've been asking, and it's about 15 to 20 points because they want to pad in their cost for installers. We're learning how to show the value proposition for standalone storage with Marshall Neipert, Chief Technology Officer from Big Battery, available here at Solagent. We're using an example of an Ethos 15 kilowatt hour battery stack with a 12K Lux Power hybrid inverter system that has the capability of having up to 18 kW of PV array. But this is standalone, so we're pretending there's no solar. And so we figured that $11,190 retail value for this package from Big Battery, available at Solagent, $12,433.33 after tax. Let's assume that it's about 15% markup for the installer to install that. So divided by 0.85. So $14,627. So let's call it $14,627.45. That's the install. Heck, let's just say 15,000. Make it easy. 15,000 installed, 15 kilowatt hours of storage, the Lux Power inverter, this package available from Big Battery here at Solagent. Email storage@solagent.net. Buy yours today. This value proposition, super easy to show people. Okay, so $15,000 upfront cost, right? Okay, so take that 15,000 and let's apply the 30% federal tax credit that is available for your customer. Okay, so you're going to go times 0.7 or minus 0.3, however you want to do that, times 0.7. So their actual upfront cost is $10,500, Marshall. So $10,000 $500 of actual upfront cost. Okay. All right. So let's figure out here if somebody is discharging 80% of that, because even though you can go deeper than that, you'll agree with me, 80% depth of discharge, you are going to get a little bit longer life cycles. I know there's some issues with that. All cell manufacturers, they have similar life expectancy, but just for how I normally do it, I oversize for the desired depth of discharge to extend life if possible. So let's go ahead and take the number of kilowatt hours that we have. What is it? 5.12 times 3. So 15.36 divided by 0.8 to increase by 20%. So the battery discharge is no deeper than 80% DOD. 80% of that. 15.36 times 0.8. There you go. So usable energy is 12.28 kilowatt hours. So you're going to be discharging 12.28 kilowatt hours every day during your peak hours, say from 4 to 9 p.m. when rates are, let's call it 40 cents a kilowatt hour. Is that fair? I think it is. 40 cents a kilowatt hour. By the way, Marshall Neipert with us, Big Battery Chief Technology Officer, helping us with this math right now. Thank you, Marshall. So let's call it 40 cents a kilowatt hour. So we're going to discharge 12.28 kilowatt hours every day at 50 cents or 40 cents, excuse me. So times 0.4. 12.28 kilowatt hours discharged today from your 15.36 kilowatt hour bank times 40 cents, $4.91 a day. All right, so let's call it a savings of $4.91 a day. All right, and then how much are we charging it for? Let's say we're charging it at 8 cents. So what is that? 12.28 kilowatt hours times 0.8. So your charge cost is, what's that? Wow, like $1.98. So you're literally charging yourself $1. You're at, $4.91 minus 98 cents, 4.91 minus 0.98. So you're profiting every single day after the cost of charging $3.93. Let's call it $4 a day. So at $4 a day, your original upfront investment after the federal tax credit of 30% off for this package, big battery, Lux power inverter, 15.36 kilowatt hours of storage, the total package ready to install, no solar, standalone only, after the tax credit, $10,500. So then what you do is you take your $10,500. So actually you take your, let's take the $4 per day that we're profiting after the charge cost. $4 times 365, that's $1,460, $1,460. So take 10,500 divided by 1460. Divided by 1460, 7.19 years. So 7-year payoff. But again, this varies. You can actually discharge more at different times and actually make this more valuable. All of that programmable through the Lux Power Inverter paired with the Ethos energy storage system. This is without solar. Yeah. Sorry to go off.
It's the more battery modules you add, the faster the payoff, because you're paying for the inverter once, right? And then you're paying for the battery. The battery modules themselves, the 5 kilowatt hour modules that come with the Ethos, they're only about $2,000 a piece, less than $2,000 a piece, like $1,850 a piece. So you get 5 kilowatt hours, 5.1 for $1,850. That's a crazy deal for an American product, right? That's the game change rate right there.
And it's available here at Solagent. Yep. I mean, you don't have to hunt it down or hope and wish and pray. Like, we actually have it right now, right? Like if someone
is in stock, we have.
If someone ordered right now, it's in stock. You say if someone ordered right now, gave us a PO. I mean, we're talking a handful of days. Like very quickly, it'll be right there, right?
Yeah, 48 to about 2 to 3 days, 48 hours. We ship from payment.
Man, that's awesome.
That's what we're looking at.
That is awesome. Folks, if you just tuned in right now and followed along with my crazy self and the calculator, I think you just figured out how to offer every single utility payer out there an energy storage solution. Every single homeowner, residential homeowner out there, who maybe they can't have solar. Why would they not want to add solar? Well, add solar, and now you have a charge source for that battery bank that has a guaranteed cost per kilowatt hour produced over a 25-year period, right, to pair with it. So it makes sense. Produce it yourself if you can. But the issue is with interest rates being so high, someone has to buy a 5 kW PV array to accompany this. That 5 kW PV array just darn near doubled almost the amount that the total principal is going to be for that loan. And so folks will say, darn it, I love the savings of solar and storage, but I just don't want to, I don't want to borrow, the loan at 7% to do it. Well, what if you nearly cut that principal in half by doing standalone storage with no solar? Now they can literally get the savings of standalone storage on their utility bill right now, have emergency load battery backup, quick payoff period, no solar at all, and have half the principal to borrow the money to go ahead and make that investment. It's more palatable, and you'll close more deals, and you always have the ability to come and add solar later. Correct? Adding on is very simple with your solution from Big Battery available here at Solagent, right, Marshall?
Yeah, the solar is, we have 4 MPPTs in the Lux inverter, and so you can add up to 4 solar strings, 18 kilowatts of PV, and it's ready to just plug in. It's ready to go. We're talking about commission times of 10 minutes, right? When you put everything together and you program it, you say, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to use my solar. Quick commissions, quick installs. That's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Quick commissioning, quick installs. Is that one of the major factors that you guys had in mind when you created this solution? The ability to just quickly install it, quickly commission it versus some of the competition and competitive options that are out there? Install times, commissioning times, that can make a big difference. In addition, aren't we eliminating the need to always have to have a critical load subpanel? I mean, you have a 200 amp internal transfer switch inside of that Lux Power 12K hybrid inverter system, right? Talk a little bit about that.
That's right. That's right. So the ATS will automatically, shut off the grid when the power's out. If it's in a power off situation, the automatic transfer switch is integrated in the Lux. You don't have to buy that separately. It also has an integrated PV shutoff, so you don't have to have a separate solar shutoff switch to install. It's all kind of in the system, right? It also has a load breaker. So you don't have to have, if you have there's 2 load breakers in there. So if that's enough for your critical loads, you don't have to have another load panel. You can have that as your load panel. So it's really thought of everything. If your system is more complex, of course you need a separate panel, but most homes don't, right? Most homes won't need that. And if they're doing a lot of grid cell, they don't need that, very much at all. They're just running critical loads. So you got to make sure that your fridge is run, that your outlets are working, and and so you can decide to size your system. It's totally modular. The minimum system is 10 kilowatt hours. You can go up to 30 kilowatt hours for an indoor install and up to 60 kilowatt hours for an outdoor install. So you really get to kind of choose the size of your system. You can also triple up your inverters, double or triple up your inverters. So you can have, it's the 12K off battery, but then you can also do 24 or 36K with 2 or 3 inverters. So kind of thought of everything, making it modular. And I wanted to talk about one other thing. So we're going to launch another product called the Rhino 2, and it's going to be extremely disruptive in cost. It's retailing $37.99 for 14.34 kilowatt hours. That is, let's do the math for a second. That's retail price, $37.99 divided by 14.34. We are under $265 a kilowatt hour retail cost. So that is a disruptive product that's coming next, and we're going to have that in the next within the next 30 days, and also UL 9540 certified with the Lux inverter. So
that's amazing. Per kilowatt hour cost, no one's touching it. Wow,
no one's touching it. Yeah, we're talking about a Tesla Powerwall is under 14 kilowatt hour, right? And so we're talking about being over 14 kilowatt hour. Tesla Powerwall's retailing, I think it's like 90 something, 10,000 ish, right? just for the battery, right? So unit to unit, $37.99 retail. I mean, you can't get better than that. There's no case for not putting storage on your home any longer, especially when you have panels, right? There's no case for that. Storage is the future for sure.
Storage is the future. We have it available. Solutions right now. Big battery packages with Lux Power hybrid inverter systems, all ready to go, ready to install, ready to ship, right here from Solagent. Marshall Neipert, Chief Technology Officer at Big Battery, here on the Beyond Emissions podcast with us today. Email storage@solagent.net. We can give you a one-on-one personal training as well for you and your team. Happy to do so, especially if you're going to offer some of these amazing solutions to your customers. We want to make sure you have the knowledge and are prepared to be successful offering energy storage. Now, your background, Marshall, probably should have started the show with this. Your background is in space, man. Oh my God, talk about that. How cool. So you worked with NASA. Tell our listeners about your background, Marshall. Very cool.
Yeah, so I started out at I have a master's in aerospace engineering. I with honors from Texas A&M University, and I started at NASA. I was at NASA for 12 years actually. I was a project manager there. I worked on the shuttle program. I worked on the SpaceX Dragon with the SpaceX team. I worked on the Orion spacecraft. The shuttle program, International Space Station, designing parts for the space station for the Orion, and doing a lot of the loads analysis and system design for a lot of the spacecraft that are already launching today. You know, exploration flight test, I was a big part of that, and a lot of the Orion structures and systems. So a lot of work at NASA, a lot of work at Johnson Space Center, where we do manned space flight, and Kennedy, where we do the launches. So that was my gig for 12 years as a project manager.
How cool is that? Oh my gosh. And some of the people you get to work with in that industry, I mean, you get some eccentric personalities, you get some folks who are just like, you know, they're bookworms and whatnot. I mean, so many different personalities probably in this. I mean, obviously in the solar business, we're full of different personalities, right? I have several of them, me, myself, and I, right? But you get a lot of interesting personalities that you've worked with over the years in that industry, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've drank vodka with Russian astronauts. I've personally been friends with Jose Hernandez. There's a Netflix movie about him called, I think, A Million Miles Away. It's a great movie. Check it out. And his wife, and they, you know, I would eat at their restaurant, and it's in the movie. It's kind of cool. And then, you know, I worked mission control, so I was, working with directors and a lot of program managers there. So very interesting, great fun. But you know, I wanted to make an impact in technology and solar storage. I think that affording people a cost-effective solution to store their green energy is the future. It's being green sometimes is not just you're not doing it just to be green. It's economical, right? Being green is saving resources. It's using things efficiently. It's using sunlight instead of fossil fuels that you know, solar is the cheapest form of energy right now. It's crazy cheap, right? The panels. The problem is that unless you're storing it, you're not getting that benefit, right? So that's the future. That's what we're doing here, making it affordable for everybody. And and we're happy to work with Solagent. Solagent's been a great partner for us in carrying the products and introducing to the markets. And they are taking care of all their customers, and we're really impressed with what they've done so far. So I'm happy to work with them.
Marshall, you are amazing. Wow. You get around a guy like you that's as smart as you, and not going to lie, I feel stupid a little bit sometimes, but that's how I want to be. That's how we should be in this world. Our cup is never full, like Karate Kid, right? Because if your cup is full, you can never pour more into it. But if you always have room left in your cup, you're always able to continue open-minded. You're always able to receive new information and learn from experts like Marshall Neipert, Chief Technology Officer at Big Battery. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about.
Well, Well, Josh, everyone has their expertise, right? I may be good at something, but I've got, I worked with some aerospace engineers that could derive the equations of the universe by, in their head, but they can't tie their shoes properly. So it really depends. Like for me, yeah, I know systems, batteries, hardware. That's my thing. You know how to serve the U.S. market. So if anything, everyone has their own expertise, and working with you guys has really been a great piece of the puzzle that we've been able to fill. So you do what you do best. We'll do what we do best and give her the best product. And you take care of the customers and installers and make sure they have those products that they need.
It's a win-win for all of us, and you can save money. Not just help your customers save money, but you can actually get energy storage solutions, packages all ready to go. You don't have to buy 50,000 pieces. The connectors and whatnot all come with the big battery packages, so they're not extra pieces. Oh, I forgot to order this or that. No, it's included. It's phenomenal. Arizona, California, all big battery is freight free. All big battery purchases are free shipping. And then they have a deal where throughout the rest of the country, if it's at least 4 batteries bought at one time, or 3 batteries and an inverter package or what have you, they'll actually do free shipping that way as well. Phenomenal. I mean, that can make a big difference, not just in the better price up front, but also the lack of freight in certain situations can also make you even more competitive. Now, I want to shift gears, Marshall, opening our minds outside of the solar blinders, taking solar, take the solar blinders off and realize there are energy storage opportunities galore in our economy today. Data centers, telecom, UPS, uninterruptible power supply. There are billions and billions of dollars of batteries that need to be replaced. There are customers that you're working with. Let's say you're a solar company, and you're working and you've got a aerial work platform scissor lift, or you've got a golf cart, or you have a trailer. Heck, whether you like camping or maybe you want to have a trailer on the job site at your construction site, whatever it might be. Did you know that we don't just have energy storage solutions for solar only? We have, a forklift. We can get you a forklift from Big Battery. I'm not kidding you. Talk a little bit about that. All the other markets that we can help serve and provide energy storage solutions for here at Solagent with our partnership with you here at Big Battery. Marshall?
Yeah, so what we did is we got one of the largest manufacturers of forklift chassis in the world, and we built a battery to make a lithium forklift, and that's our product. So that is a titangreen.com product. You can see it, and Solagent is going to be carrying that, and we are going to disrupt the market with a lithium LFP battery forklifts for up to $20,000 less than the leaders in the space. So we're disrupting the market by cost on that, and that is titangreen.com. We have a 5,000-pound 4-wheel, and we have a 3,500-pound 3-wheel forklift. All lithium LFP, charges bottom to top in 2 hours, no toxic fumes, $20,000 less than the competition. Out the door, retail to retail, and so that's a disruptive product. We made a product for scissor lifts, disrupting that market. So scissor lifts, these large rental institutions, they spend hundreds of millions a year on battery maintenance, on filling electrolyte, replacing lead acid that dies after 2 or 3 years, and they rent them out, and the customers abuse them, and the batteries go bad. Well, we invented a scissor lift kit, or they can be used on other industrial machines, 24 and 48 volt GC2 batteries that come with weight boxes to counter the weight. It's all included from a Big Battery. It's our scissor lift kit, and that's a very popular unit. We're selling thousands of those kits, and so we're happy to bring those to market and introduce them, because it's a huge cost win when you don't have to do maintenance on that system, right? And it lasts for 10 years.
Yeah, big time. And you are being very disruptive, because a lot of these systems that are out there, aerial work platforms, forklifts, etc., a lot of these systems are still utilizing lead acid technology, or if they're using lithium, they're using an NMC version, nickel manganese cobalt, which, although it's more energy dense, it's more conducive to thermal runaway, cascade failure, and has fewer life cycles. So in the long run, this disruptive solution available, Titan Green, Forklifts, man, available. We can sell you a forklift from Sologent. So don't limit yourself to just solar. You're walking in, you're talking to a customer at a factory about their solar and energy storage. Help them with that. We can help you there. But then also notice, Mr. or Mrs. Customer Business Owner, I happen to notice that you have 30 forklifts here in your warehouse. And I happen to notice that they're all lead acid. Boy, that must cost you a lot of energy and charging and downtime and maintenance and all of that. How would you like to eliminate 3 of those and get one of our Titan Green lithium powered forklifts? Oh my, what? And then tell them you have that available. Yes. Yeah. And matter of fact, we can do it at an amazing price, about 20% less. That all available right here at Sologent. That is disruptive. There are people out there, Marshall's talking about it, he's absolutely right, that are spending more money on time and maintenance and downtime at their operation because they're still using a traditional lead acid forklift. Some of these fleets can be 100 forklifts at some of these operations. Imagine the extra sales and revenue you could create for your company by just getting out, taking your solar blinders off and really seeing all the opportunities that exist. Wow. I'm curious how much, I mean, every price is different because someone might buy 50 forklifts versus one, but kind of a ballpark. What are they looking at as far as investing in, say, a Titan Green forklift available here at Sologent from Big Battery?
Yeah, so I'm not sure we're publishing our dealer price, but we have the highest margins for dealers in the country. So we can certainly talk about what those are, and if for qualified dealers, for our retail price, we're under 40,000. We're talking about 48,000 retail, and compared to around 60 for the leading competitors, right? There's a lot of benefits to lithium forklifts, that some people don't really understand. In agriculture, you don't have any emissions, so you can use it around food, organic food. You can use it in clean environments. It's completely sealed. Even lead acid has toxic fumes. You don't want to use lead acid around food. You don't want to use it, in places where you have to charge in 8 hours with lead acid, right? And so ours are charged bottom to top in 2 hours. So we're talking about 24-hour operations. We're talking about not needing a vented charging room because you're sealed. We're talking about no emissions. These emission vehicles are all being banned, especially in California. Everyone's going to follow suit, and then there's going to be a day when you're not going to be able to buy your units anymore at all. But it's economical today. You don't have to wait for the laws to change. Right now, it's economical today to use lithium without the maintenance, not having to worry about replacing a battery every 2 to 3 years. That is a pain for a forklift, right? Doing maintenance on the battery. On the lead acid, and also maintenance on the motor. These have zero maintenance motors, so you don't have to change the oil or change the fuel, any of that stuff. So yeah, all that maintenance stuff goes away. It's great. Just run and be efficient.
So it's not just solar. We can help you with your energy storage needs for your entire operation, and it's not just giving you another battery powered forklift. It's a forklift that will last longer. It will perform better, have less maintenance, and cost you less over the lifetime versus what you may be currently using. Oh my gosh, we blew everyone's minds today, Marshall. We can get more than solar stuff from Sologent. I mean, we're not selling Snicker candy bars here. It is related. It's energy storage powered. But we might as well be the one-stop shop if somebody needs a fleet of forklifts and we can solve that problem for them. We might as well be the one to offer that solution, right, Marshall?
Yeah. We want to be there for the customer's needs. We look to the future. What's going to be needed? Low cost LFP forklifts. We only work in LFP, so we talked about NMC. We don't do NMC. We do the safest products that have been 9540A certified on the battery and 9540 on the system and all the other UL certs 1973, so that they've been fire tested, heat chambers, all that stuff. We have the safest products, the most cycle count, the tier 1 cells, and the best technology and the best American engineering. That's what we're at.
Right. Chatsworth, California. So officially, you make these batteries in America, right? You take the cells and you manufacture right in the USA. The cells and the batteries are all made and assembled right here.
Yeah, so some of our products are fully assembled in our facility, and some of our products are sub-assembly or only QC tested here, where we design the product and we have it assembled in a sub-assembly facility. But all of them are QC tested and checked here. That's every single product. And so we go through a multi-point check for every single product, every single module, every single control box to make sure that it is a working, functional, high-performance unit when it goes out in the field.
That's awesome right there, because a lot of manufacturers out there, they bring it in and then they just ship it out, when it's ordered. But you've got quality control right here in the United States of America. That is phenomenal as well. Big battery solutions available here at Sologent. Thanks so much, Marshall Neipert, Chief Technology Officer at Big Battery. Thanks for also going through the value proposition, busting out the math. Like, that's really important. Let's circle back there as we close. I know you've got another meeting to go to. Very busy guy. Thanks for taking your time with us here on the Beyond Emissions podcast, Marshall.
I'm happy.
As we close, it's so important that folks understand the math. It's really a good idea to not just try to go find an energy tool base or Aurora or some software out there that can kind of help you cheat the system. Really, at the end of the day, if you learn the math yourself, you can very quickly with a calculator show a customer their value proposition on the spot and actually show confidence, instill confidence in them, in yourself, knowing that you know your stuff because you're able to show them the math versus being just one of the other 10 salespeople that shows up with a sales presentation produced by one of these software tools that say you need X or say you need Y or say you need Z. To actually have a conversation with a customer and go, all right, the information you're showing me, here's the math that I learned in my training. Let's run the math. Oh, here's what you need, and this is what we're going to recommend. If you can figure that out and learn the math that we've walked you through here today, and we'll do more training, so you're not alone. We'll walk through this math with you and your customers anytime. Email me, storage@sologent.net. But Marshall, just the ability to learn the math equations yourself in your head in a calculator, to do that in a conversation with the customer, instills so much more confidence and closes way more deals versus just being another of the 1 out of 10 people with a software derived proposal, right? Would you recommend that folks really learn some of this math? It's not very hard, right?
Yeah, the math isn't hard. I mean, when you know what your bill is and you know how much you're consuming in power and you build the system appropriately, you know how long it's going to take to pay it back, right? Whether or not you do grid cell or you have solar, it's not that difficult to just show the customer, hey, this is what you're spending. We estimate your bill is going to be this dollar amount, which is mostly zero sometimes. And especially if you have an EV. So if you buy an EV, you need that power, you need that charging, because you're spending a lot on electricity, right? So you're going to upsize the system. But it really comes down to, let's charge at home for a really low cost, or let's just not have an electric bill. When some people have money and it comes and goes, and when you have it, you put it into a system, that's going to reduce your expenses for decades. I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? Investing in your system, investing in your house and your future. That's what solar is about, and that's what solar and storage is about now that, solar storage is the future. So
you're going to spend the money whether you like it or not, so you might as well invest in a great solution. Energy storage systems packages from Big Battery available here at Sologent, like the Ethos plus the Lux Power hybrid inverter package. We can scale that to a very large size. You're going to love it. Reach out to me, storage@sologent.net. I know you've got to go. You got a hard stop, so I'll let you get off the line here. Folks, if you'd like to reach out and just pick the brain of this expert guest of ours today and partner of us here at Sologent, he is, of course, the Chief Technology Officer Marshall Neipert from Big Battery on the Beyond Emissions podcast today. Thank you so much for being here. If folks want to pick your brain, talk with you in person, how would they best reach you, Marshall?
I can be reached at marshall@bigbattery.com. That's MARSHALL. And I can also be reached on LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn page. You can kind of read about my background, some of the projects we're doing. That's the two best ways. My direct email is what I prefer. So, yeah, I'm happy to talk to anybody who has questions.
Marshall@bigbattery.com. That's Marshall@bigbattery.com. Thank you, sir. Marshall Neipert, Chief Technology Officer with Big Battery and working now with us here at Sologent. Hang on the line for engineers. Oh, real quick, you'll be back. Promise you'll come back. We got more to talk about, Marshall, so we'll have you back again. Hang on the line for engineers, and thanks so much for joining us on the podcast, Marshall.
Thank you so much.
Marshall Neipert, Chief Technology Officer with Big Battery. Available right now at Sologent. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We are partnering with the best of the best, truly being able to provide the value to your customers that they need more than ever. Don't just be focused on solar only. Take off your solar blinders and realize there are so many amazing opportunities available outside of solar. Standalone storage, telecom. Heck, you walk in and you're talking to a big commercial account about their solar system and you notice they have 20 forklifts. Hey, we can transition your lead acid forklift fleet of 20 forklifts over to battery based and have it cost you a lot less up front and throughout the life of the system. Could you imagine you and your solar company selling a forklift? That's right. Titan Green forklifts from Big Battery, available right here at Sologent, powered by lithium iron phosphate. The business opportunities are available for you, but you've got to open your mind. You've got to flip the switch. I hate to say it, but you almost need to take solar and just stab it right in the heart. We're not getting rid of solar. I don't mean that. I know it sounds sacrilege. Sologent, solar distributor, right? How dare you say that? Listen, I'm saying it because you need to change your business model. If it's solar, and storage is the icing on the cake for you and your business model, your business is not going to be successful. It is not going to grow. Okay. Layoffs happening left and right, especially in California right now. And all the businesses who are failing are not embracing these other opportunities outside of traditional solar. We have solutions. Energy storage is not just the salvation for your business. It's the salvation for our industry. And we want you to be successful. So join us in this clean energy revolution here at Sologent as we expand opportunities for you and your business to grow using energy storage and also the traditional conventional solar solutions that we of course have available here as well. Email me storage@sologent.net to find out more. That's storage@sologent.net. Stay tuned for more great brand new episodes and on demand anytime at the Sologent YouTube channel of the Beyond Emissions podcast. But if you'd like to have access to all of our brand new episodes, click on that notification bell and it'll pop up every single time we have a new learning opportunity, new piece of content, a chance for you to grow your knowledge and your value for you, your customers, your company, your teammates, and more. Oh, awesome. Oh my gosh, it's time. Okay, we got to go right now, but until next time, stay charged up. Okay, if you want to get encouraged or you want to get training for you and your team, reach out to me, storage@sologent.net. That's storage@sologent.net. I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager with Sologent, your clean energy solution provider.
We at Sologent are incredibly excited to announce our partnership with GivePower. Well, we wouldn't be here today talking to you about GivePower if it wasn't for our partners, LoanPal. They've been with GivePower since the beginning. Their contribution has given water and light to countless people across the globe. We are truly inspired by LoanPal's dedication to the cause. Something LoanPal said really strikes a chord regarding GivePower, that this is something that's more than money. It's what makes making money more worthwhile. In a lot of ways, that's synonymous with what we're doing here at Sologent.
Here's how you can help.
What we've decided to do is compound LoanPal's contribution by donating to GivePower on every order paid via our direct pay program through LoanPal. That's right. Every time your company uses your LoanPal portal to pay Sologent for material, 5 people get clean drinking water for a full year.
Together we're stronger.
Together, we can choose to be extraordinary by giving to people who live outside our reach. To us, this means a lot.
Sologent's purpose meets GivePower's mission. Join the impact. Sologent, Solar Engine. SolarEngineSolutions.com. Go there to find out more.